I'm Heather Valgoss with Performance Marketing Insider, and joining me today is Ted Dhanik, President and CEO of EngageBDR. Hi, Ted. Thanks for being here.
Hey, Heather. How's it going? Thanks for having me.
It's going very well, and I hear that there's some exciting news that you have. What's the latest development for EngageBDR?
There's quite a few things happening here, but the latest development, which we learned about yesterday, was we're now #1 on ComScore across the entire display ecosystem, which is ad networks, supply-side platforms, demand-side platforms, exchanges, and anyone being beaconed or measured for reach on ComScore. So now we're #1. We just surpassed Rubicon. We have 97% reach in the U.S. and every month, and we're actually quantified to have more reach than some of the other bigger players like AOL and even Google's display ad network.
Wow, that's really exciting news. So what exactly does that mean in terms of how much you've grown over the years?
Well, it means that we're capable of reaching users that people or advertisers are trying to target. So we have a bigger capability from that standpoint. So versus an ad, like let's look at it from the perspective of if you're looking at another ad network, let's say they have 50% of the U.S. population as far as their reach is concerned, and measured by a third party like ComScore. That tells us that typically they have only access to half the people in the country. So if an advertiser is trying to target this audience, it's a lot tougher for them to reach that audience because they just don't have the ability to target those users because they're not seeing those users. What this 97% penetration actually means is we are actually serving ads to 97% of the U.S. population, the online population, serving at least one ad to them every month. And ComScore is the authority on measurement, specifically measurement of reach on the web, and well, in the U.S. anyways. And so that's what we're basing this off of, and it's their third-party measurement that and the rankings that we're leveraging here. So it's pretty interesting.
Okay, so put that into perspective for us in terms of where you've come from. So a year ago, what kind of penetration did you have?
Well, where I've come from India.
So, yeah, okay. So, no, the company, the size of the company, the penetration. This sounds really sexual, doesn't it? Anyway.
So India's got a couple billion, it's a billion plus people, so it's a bigger audience. We're not really reaching a lot of people there yet. But yeah, from where we've come from, so the interesting thing is this is our 5th year. We celebrated our 5th anniversary in January. We're excited. So this is our 6th year actually. We started a little over 5 years ago with a handful of people with zero funding, funded it ourselves, leveraged what we had, built a business, kept growing, and we're continuing to grow. TechCrunch covered the launch of our demand-side platform. It was a couple years ago. It was pretty exciting because we're offering incremental and exclusive inventory that didn't exist on RTV today. Today, we're #1, not only in the RTV category, but across all networks. So this enables us to do business with a lot more people than we had access to in the past. It gives us access to publishers that generally only work with the Big Five. The Big Five meaning the the ad.coms, the Google ad networks, etc. So this enables us access to those players as well. So it's something that we're really proud of.
Yeah, it's great. So 97% penetration in the USA, and you were joking around saying you don't have that much in India right now. So, but seriously though, as far as worldwide goes, what are your plans for increasing penetration worldwide? So
we have been a pretty internationally focused ad network for a number of years. I believe in 2010 we pivoted to leverage our capabilities to buy international traffic for our existing clients that had campaigns that were running internationally. We did that well, and we're continuing to do that. I'll give you an example. Brazil, we've been top 5 in ComScore. We've been #2 in Quantcast. Some of the other countries, UK, we've been top 5 for a number of years. Australia, we've been top 2 or 3 for a long time, and some other territories like in the entire Europe, I believe we're in the top 10 as well. Canada, we've always been in the top 5, top 10, and so we're continuing to grow in those places. Now, ComScore, very, very important, but ComScore only measures us in 5 regions or territories. The reason why is because we don't want to pay them more than we're already paying them. So it costs a lot of money in every single country. They charge you for every single country, and there's a lot of value to what ComScore does. But the 5 territories that we've chosen to be beaconed in are U.S., Canada, Australia, UK, all of Europe, and sorry, not UK, it's all of Europe actually, and Brazil. Those are the main territories that we had a ton of business in the past, so we wanted to be beaconed there. But so we have I think the new numbers is about 355 million uniques across those 5 territories in ComScore. In Quantcast has been measuring us for a long time as well. In Quantcast, we're at number 1. We're at number 1 there as well. Number 1 network. So if you go to quantcast.com, you type EngageBDR, you'll see us as number 1 with roughly about 470 million global uniques. Now, Quantcast actually measures us across every single territory. So, so that's very interesting, and I believe our uniques are closer to 500, closer to that 470 million number.
Nice. Okay. So tell us about the certification that you've recently received.
Okay, great. So we're very proud of this. So our certification, we've had a series of them happen at the same time. BPA, which is a third-party auditing firm, they do a great job. They were chosen by the IAB to represent some of their activities, and they were authorized to certify against their specs for a series of ad serving related stuff. So we're certified across every category that the IAB offers for ad serving related functions. It's video, mobile, display, click measurement, impression measurement, and a variety of other things. There's one category that we were not certified in that we chose not to be because we're not a website or a publisher, which is reach. Our reach is measured by ComScore and Quantcast, so that's one area that we weren't measured in. In addition to that, we were also certified for viewability. Viewable impressions is a big buzzword, or a series of words today, and what it really means is it's a new standard that has been out for spec, and it will be implemented across the industry very shortly. What this means is only charging an advertiser when the impression has been validated to actually be in the viewable screen area of the user's browser. We're taking it one step further by adding engagement, meaning page scrolls, mouse movement, things like that, to really quantify, validate that an impression's in view. And we're selling time as opposed to an impression. So guaranteed time slots and timeshare of an impression is the new metric when the impression comes into view. So that's a very exciting thing. We were certified for this, and we were the first announcement when the industry standard was released. I believe it was April 1st. So we announced our certification a few days after that, and so we're pretty happy with that. We will be one of the first DSPs to offer viewability or viewable impressions in the next few weeks as well. So a lot of exciting movement in viewability, and it's definitely changing the landscape. I mean, I'm sure you can understand. You've probably read and seen a lot of stuff about fraud on RTB and across display inventory specifically, and about in our measurements, and we're looking at the data on all the ads that we're buying, and we're seeing about 3 to 5 billion impressions a day. We're finding that a lot of these media buys and placements just aren't real, and what we mean by that is we're seeing like 99.7% on some of these buys are not viewable, and it's very, it's shocking and kind of not shocking at the same time. If you're from the space, you know that a lot of it's fraud, but it is definitely very tragic because marketers are spending a ton of cash on media buys and getting burned because it's not real inventory, and the ad never ends up entering the viewable screen area of the user because it's not a real user, that kind of thing. So our technology can detect if it's a real user or not, and you cannot emulate this activity. So imagine buying impressions that are actually real and not paying for the waste, which is in some cases more than half of the inventory. So it's exciting, and what this means for publishers is they monetize their inventory much better. They can get really high CPMs for their traffic because they're, at the end of the day, they'll only be selling what's viewable. So it's changing the metric, and it's a reinvigoration of display. And we're very excited about that because display has not been something very exciting to talk about over the last few years, specifically with the introduction of social, what we really call native advertising, which is Facebook and Taboola and some of the other folks out there. Display's just been, kind of on the shelf, and I mean, there's a lot of incrementality in display, but you got to know how to do it. So we're happy that we could talk about display again. Now, our viewability product is going to be leveraged across multiple channels. It's not just display, it'll be video as well. Our native advertising product, which launches very soon, and mobile and display. So we're looking forward to seeing this provide a lot of value to the industry, and also, being pioneers, that doesn't hurt either.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on all that good news. It seems like you've got all this stuff to share with us. Is there anything else while we've got you here that you want to tell us about new developments or maybe future developments?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's probably a few things. So we're going to be offering viewability within our DSP. We're excited about that. So users will be able to optimize to a viewable impression as they're optimizing to CTR and conversions and eCPA, so be able to optimize to viewability. In addition to that, we'll be rolling out a product shortly after that, which will enable them to buy just viewable impressions. So that's exciting. There's a bunch of other things on the horizon. We have our video product. Video will be available in our DSP very soon. And so what this means to your community, which is the performance marketing community, you're wondering, performance marketing video, does that really fit? Is this the right interview? Is this the right content for this interview? Absolutely. Because I've been running direct response on video for a number of years, and we like to pioneer a few things. And so we're going to show the community how to leverage video for direct response and lead gen. And it does really well. You don't really need a production studio for it. You take animated GIFs and convert them into video files, and it does really well. CPMs are really high, so don't get sticker shock, but your engagement's going to be really high. So some of these campaigns are clicking at 5, 10, 15% CTRs, and so you do the math. If you're paying $5, $10 CPM, and it backs into numbers like that, and engagement's strong, and its conversion rate's high, it does work, and it makes sense. So we will be offering video in our DSP very soon, and so that's another exciting thing for the performance community, in addition to the brands that are using our products as well.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so if any of the viewers have gotten really excited listening to you talk, and now they want to try you out and try your services, either as a publisher or as an advertiser, how do they get started?
Well, they can email me. It's ted@engagebdr.com, or they could visit our site, and they could clearly see our differentiators. In fact, we have, on every page, we have a section at the top of it that says differentiators. So we want to clearly differentiate ourselves from people. To read about our products, various products on the site. At the end of the day, you should know what your goal is. When you talk with us, talk about your goal, not a specific product, because we should be able to arrive at your goal leveraging the variety of products that we have in our suite. We usually make the determination for the client, so we don't want to confuse everyone. But yeah, ted@engagebdr.com. or go to EngageBDR.com and check us out.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ted, and congratulations again.
Thank you, Heather.